Okay, we are going live. If you are listening to the replay, you want to fast forward about 4 minutes because I always sign on a little bit early so that people can work through technology challenges, get signed in a little bit early and ready to go. So if you are listening to the replay, go ahead and just fast forward at 4 minutes, 5 minutes to be safe. I'm super excited today. Mastermind Monday, we have the founder of CEO Space, Bernie Dorman. I know we have a couple of other amazing mentors that'll be joining us, but we have a very special guest, Bernie Dorman, that's here with us today. So yes. And our next Mastermind Monday is 2 weeks from today. I think it's the 29th. I have to look at the exact date. Or no, I'm sorry. It is the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of May. And you just register at businessaccelerationsecrets.com, or if you do the automatic enrollment, then you'll be set to go. So looks like we have one viewer, a few viewers. Thank you for signing in early. Just so that you know, you can go ahead and request to be a speaker, request to join us. Just go ahead and click on, actually, let me go ahead and give you the direct link to get in. Or you can go ahead and start chatting in the chat room, and then I can actually add you as a speaker. So I love for this to be interactive. We're going to get started in just a few minutes, but we're on here early just so everybody can get logged in. But we love if you join us via video or audio. Again, you can do that just by clicking on request to be a speaker or presenter, excuse me, request to be a presenter. And that should allow you to go ahead and join us. So let me go ahead and get you to the live chat room. Control C. Here we go. I see we have Keith Leon. Yes, hi Keith. Welcome. And we have David and Tony. So we'll be getting started here shortly. Devon, wonderful. We got a nice lineup here. Again, we'd love if you join us via video. We like to have this very interactive. If you want to go ahead and put in, start chatting and saying hi in the chat room, then we can go ahead and add you. Or here's the live link. Keith, I did go ahead and hit add. So you should be able to hopefully join in. Otherwise, you can go ahead and join us. We're also going to be on Facebook Live today. So if you go to facebook.com/, well, you're best if you're here. This is ideal. Hi, Tony. I'll go ahead and add you as a speaker. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And you can also stay in incognito too if you choose. But we'll be getting started here in just a moment. Really excited today that we have the founder of CEO Space International, which is Forbes online #1 must-attend business conference. So wonderful. Hi, Tony. Welcome, welcome. So again, we have a few, it's kind of first come, first serve as far as those that join us via video. And as you ask questions and stuff, we can swap people out. But go ahead and just hit request to be a presenter or type in the chat room and trying to go into video. Okay, let me try this again, Keith, on a new laptop. So I found that if you're joining us, just a couple little tidbits here. Tony, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. If you're just joining us, it's Google Chrome is great, the best actually to use. They will usually ask for you to log into your Gmail account. Trying to get the audio. Okay, hopefully you can hear me, Devon. I'm going to go ahead and add you as a speaker. Devon, you will not get audio unless you sign in via video, just to let you know. So in order to interact with the video, you have to go ahead and I did put request to be a presenter. So we're going to do Facebook Live. I'm just hitting go. A lot of multitasking here. So welcome everybody. So welcome to Mastermind Monday. This is our I think our 5th Google Hangout, where we bring together just amazing mentors, and we really work to collaborate and come together to provide resources, provide experts, and give you access to tools to help you accelerate your business. And today we are real quick here. I'm multitasking. People still trying to get in. Keith, in the chat room, I did go ahead and put the link so that you can join. And so I'm going to go through real quick again the 4 things that we kind of work on each time that we feel are essential with growing your business and accelerating your business. The first thing is having a clear pitch, being able to make that request, knowing what it is that you need next. You wouldn't believe how many people we work with that they're just not clear on what's next, let alone how to ask for it. So the first thing is really developing that clear pitch, clear understanding of how to ask for what you want. And today is a great opportunity for you to practice and make that request. Come to, we have one of the world's leading master mentors that you can ask questions from on growing your business. If you have a goal or a challenge that you're working with, we're here to come together and support you. So number 2 is collaboration, partnerships, coming together with people with a shared vision and creating a shared vision so that you can work together. Number 3 is mentors or coaches. Everybody needs mentors or coaches. We really are truly never alone, and it's so important that you have people that have been there, done that. It can help you avoid costly mistakes. It can help you really speed through what it is that you're trying to accomplish when you work with mentors and coaches. And the 4th thing is mastermind, really bringing together individuals to help you move through those challenges or those goals quickly. So those are the 4 things that we work on. So today, if you want support with your pitch, we have one of the master crafters, Bernie, I'm going to keep plugging you because I'm just so glad you're here, at really developing that clear pitch, that clear language, that clear request, because as Lisa Nichols says, who was also mentored by Bernie Dorman, was the one thing that stops us from having exactly what we want right now many times is our language and being able to articulate that. I know when I work with people with publicity, it's like just coming up with those words that are magnetic and want people to take action. So, working with your elevator pitch, also coming together if you have a goal or a challenge, this is a great opportunity to do that. Now, we have some people that, if you're on Facebook and you want to go ahead and post, a goal or a challenge that you have, great. Or if you want to join us via video, then we would love to have you do that and connect. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick introduction with Bernie. Bernie Dorman, if you don't know about him, and hopefully many of you do, Bernie Dorman is the founder of CEO Space, which started almost 30 years ago, and he has been instrumental in 33 years ago, and he has been instrumental in helping hundreds of thousands of individuals accelerate their business. Those of you that know, I do an event here that we're so blessed to have Bernie come here June 22nd, 23rd, Business Acceleration Summit. The only plug I'm going to do, but if Bernie has developed what I consider the world's greatest business incubator. It is a place where you can literally come, and he has brought together some of the world's greatest coaches, mentors, teachers, and to have any time with him is worth thousands. So each of you, just imagine that you've been given this gift of like $10,000 right here now. And one of the things I like to say is that when you work with Bernie, Bernie's like he gives you this beautiful gift, and all the mentors here, all the individuals here, because we're going to ask each of you to share and contribute if there's something that you can support people with. But it's like he gives you, a handful of gems, and what's going to happen is you'll, like sand, just let it shift through your fingers and take those diamonds and rubies, because there's always gems there. So I'm going to just do a quick welcome to some of the other mentors that we play with. We obviously have Keith Leon, who is an author and also a business strategist. We have Tony Antonio, who's going to be here. Castillo, who is here. But let's go ahead, and Bernie, do you want to just do a quick hello and say hi and anything before we open up for the mastermind?
You bet. I'm always here to help any of you that have particular, if you can state your challenge, like here's my business and here's the challenge that I have at the moment. We'll really try and help you and give you mentorship. Mentors make millions and coaches do not. And mentors are transferring skill. When you're done with mentorship, you have the skill. When you're done with coaches, you're dependent on the coach. So there's quite a difference. Like Keith Leon is one of the foremost publishers we recommend in the United States. He's 20 years doing book publishing. He helps you actually get to be a New York Times best-selling author if you have some brand capital and some money to promote yourself. And he pays more frequently, and he pays a lot more than traditional publishers. And he really helps you get out in the marketplace. So we recommend him because he just particularly is himself a best-selling author. He knows what it is to get there, and he loves helping you guys get there. So, just a commercial shout-out for Keith Leon, who, CEO Space recommends Keith. He teaches on our faculty, which is not easy to get into, and we're so grateful for his helping authors, speakers, to get their books out, get their markets.
Perfect. Thank you, Bernie. We just had AJ join us. Bernie, is there anything that you want to just, and I'm going to have a couple people introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into the questions. Is there anything that you want to say as far as your, I just have to say, he's like a master mentor. Is there anything you want to say as far as your area of expertise or skill set that you want to let people know about?
Well, you're in a market in this election year that has lots of whipsaws to it in the marketplace, but I want you to understand that entrepreneurs that own their own business, you prosper in every market. When it's good times like it is right now and the market's doing well and returns are doing reasonably well, it's particularly boom times. This year, next year are likely to be really big boom times. You hear a lot of information about a pending crash, a potential crash, and I think there will be one. Hillary says there'll be one. Donald Trump says there'll be one. I think there's likely going to be one. It won't be our fault. It will be China's fault, but that's because of their debt burden. But we'll get through it fine. I mean, we're in America. We're in the best place to be, and entrepreneurs make money in all markets. And so I think that today your biggest focus might be social capital, building cooperative trading communities. Be very fussy about wasting time in markets that won't give you clients and customers. Be in markets that will give you clients and customers. So try to network so your net works, and your net builds your net worth. Your network is your net worth. So social capital is everything. Deal in CEO communities, there are lots of them, that have your clients, your customers, and deliver bottom line traction. And avoid spending a lot of time with places where you don't get, in other words, CEOs today cannot spend money and go to places and they get their money's worth. You've got to go now to places where you get your money back. So be a little more discerning as a buyer and choose those markets where you can see that you're getting your money back. And I think that's what today's buyers are doing more of. If there's one book I can recommend to you, it would be People versus Profits. It's brand new. It's out right now. And it's a terrific bestseller on social capital and how to make your customer your icon and treat them like platinum so that you have them refer, they're raving fans, and they're building your business for you. And the secrets of how to do that are in People versus Profits. So I highly recommend a little book, not too big, and really helps you. If you want a larger read, my book, Redemption, The Cooperation Revolution, tells you how to build switched on, turned on workspaces. So I'll turn it back to Shannon.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. And those of you that know Bernie, because time is limited today, he did say that he has some blocks of time available to strategize with people more individually on their business. If you don't know about CEO Space, it's ceospaceinternational.com. But he did, I said, you're probably going to have a lot of people that might want to connect with you that haven't, that this is their first exposure. So if that's the case, feel free to email me, info@shannongronich.com, info@shannongronich, GRONICH.com, or you can call me 321-549-2128. 321-549-2128. I'm happy to help orchestrate that, answer any questions that might come up afterwards, because he did, he did open up.
Put that information in the chat so everybody has it.
Thank you. I'll do that. Perfect. So,
but I just say we do powerful coaching where we learn about your business, which sometimes you can't do on this call in depth, and then we hopefully you'll take the footing taking notes, and we're giving you game plan structuring on how to step by step hyper grow the business and get it into the context of what you want next. So when you get AAA coaching, the coaching that normally Fortune 100 companies get, it's a little bit higher quality, and so we're always trying to give that away. That's free. We're not selling you and going to CEO space or anything. So if you want that, a week from now, I'm in all week before our program doing coaching. I have some slots available tomorrow. I'm in Denver speaking at group meetings and an impact event by one of our alliance partners this weekend, and then in California all next week. And then I'm back in Florida coaching for about a week. So Shannon can get you on my schedule and at your convenience, and I can give you some coaching. I'd love to do it. No obligation of any kind, just helping entrepreneurs.
Wonderful. Yeah, the first time I met with Bernie, I was running my business here locally and was using my real estate business to fund my local business. I keep looking off because we have Facebook Live here going too. If it seems a little awkward, that's why. And when I first met him, and I loved what I was doing, but I just couldn't break that cycle of getting to the next level. And Bernie was such a blessing to spend that hour. He gave me a couple of contacts and information that completely changed my world, completely changed my business. I ended up joining his organization, and I could go on and on and on about it, but any time with him is just, like I said, I mean, it's like being handed a $10,000 bill, sometimes more. So thank you, Bernie. Let's go ahead and this is on replay, so I'd love to have remember the first thing is that the introduction. So Tony, I know you and AJ are on. If you're in the chat room and you want to just type who you are and what you're doing and maybe your website, and then we're going to get into the mastermind. But I'd love to just introduce, hear from some of you who's here, and if you have a goal or a challenge, go ahead and share that. So Antonio or Tony, would you like to go first? And you're on mute, so.
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Tony Castillo. We're making personal marketing. Too loud?
It's a little staticky. It's not.
Let me get headphones. So
okay. I'll go to AJ.
Okay.
Hi, AJ. Do you want to go ahead and unmute? Nope. Okay. So again, you can type in the chat room a quick elevator pitch if you'd like, or on Facebook Live. All right, we might be getting right into the mastermind. AJ, can you hear? Okay, so Bernie, I have a question from Len Del Rocco, and I know that he is actually in the chat room. He said that he offers a platform, health benefit and discount for association and chambers that they provide to their members. He's looking for an avenue to train and support the members and wants to know different formats that can do that, that can provide maybe more virtual support. I know that I actually talked to him a little bit on the phone, and I said Google Hangouts are one way, but you might have some other ideas that you want to share about.
Just say that again. So state the business again. And
okay.
Trying to do as far as hyper growing it.
Okay, and Len, if you're on, if you want to go ahead and put your website, please, in the chat room, that would be great. He offers a platform of health benefits and discounts to associations and chamber members. He shared that, like right now with the healthcare reform, it's kind of affecting his pocketbook. So he's looking at new ways of providing training and support to members of different associations and chambers that can provide more of a virtual support, so that he can work with, let's say, the Chamber of Chicago or the Chamber in New York.
Okay. Well, I think that, and I'm sorry for my loud mating bird, but I can't really move where I'm at right now. I'm out in Florida by my pool, actually. So what I'm looking at is, you know, if you do magazine marketing, because you're an educational coach, and you go to onesource.com, you can get the current president of the chamber in various zip codes that you want to target. And it's pretty inexpensive to have a journalist from a university at $15 an hour or less as an intern do the magazine, set it up for you once a quarter, put it out. And you have chambers that are your customers and others that are your customer in the profile group, and you're featured, and you have these articles in there. It doesn't have to be a big item, and you send that out. It's not very expensive to print it or send it out, but it's well read. It's got dropout cards to call for engagement and a free audit to see if you can help them. And you'll get on the docket with all of them, and you'll start getting a good percentage. And it's easy follow-up because you follow up and say, did you get my free magazine? And so you're basically saying, did I get the free magazine? You know, and that it, you know, targets. There's no waste market there. Does that make sense? Does that give you a direction that might be useful you might not have thought of?
Yes, Lynn, I don't know if he put in his spacecoastbenefits.com is his website.
Okay, good.
Perfect. I think that's a great idea, and I was also sharing with him, because I know, and maybe you can talk a little bit about this, Bernie, is he was looking for training and support on how to create virtual education platforms. And I know that there's some experts that you work with too. Do you have any suggestions around virtual education platforms?
Well, there are a lot of platforms out there like Digital Chalk. You can Google search, and Digital Chalk is very inexpensive. It provides the lessons, the quizzes, the exams, the completion, reports to you, very GUI, probably the lowest cost way to do it. But there are lots of platforms out there. When you go virtual education platform, Google will give you a whole bunch, of which Digital Chalk will be in the top 10. But I'm saying look at them, compare prices. There are always features coming up with new ones that are coming in. And then remember, you've got to raise a little money. And today you can raise capital so much easier. On May 12th, you've got the opening of crowdfunding. You can raise up to $1 million. You can do it without registration and expensive documents and so forth. You can do it very quickly, have it ready in 2 weeks. You can do it through an automation on a website called Sprout, SPROWTT.com, 2 T's. Sprout, just like you're sprouting your business. That's SEC, FINRA, and State Security Commissioner approved. It's bonded and insured. Costs $49 a month. You can crowdfund right through the site. Put all your stuff up there. Let the investor go there. It automates the compliance. You can never step out of compliance. You can even prepare your docs and have securities lawyers review them and have your docs prepared on Sprout. Click your way through them, have an attorney review them, file the filing with the SEC, which requires no filing fee, and you're good in all 50 states after that. And then you can advertise, promote. You can put up billboards. You can do email blasts. You can go to companies like Peak Potential, Tony Robbins, CEO Space, and get investors there. Actually get them and get them buying in. And it's not hard at all. And if you want to go to a class on it, we teach one. But you know, ask Shannon about that. But you know, we're very excited about these brand new laws that let you raise money so much easier. And now you can raise $1 million so easy. You don't need all the documents you used to use. You don't need all the filings. And you can do it right away. You can start right now. And I'm saying it really changes the ballgame. My only caution, they let you raise $1 million. You have about a year to raise it. So don't raise less. If you're going to sell 10% of your company for $1 million, sell 10% for $1 million and raise the full $1 million. Then do a larger second round. And then you're unstoppable. You've got plenty of money from marketing, advertising to feed your website. Because a lot of the strength of what you need to do once you get your backbone in place on your product is have continuous marketing that will feed you the qualified lead base to buy your product. And that's just a little bit of capital to grow a really big business instead of pushing your shoulder against the wheel trying to roll it up the hill. And so I always recommend at least a little light capitalization to get your company advertising marketing launched. So consider that. And consider capital is not hard. It isn't challenging. It's just new. You should have learned it in high school. I've got videos on my website where I've got, Shannon knows the people, where, you know, it's like, I just raised $150,000 in 72 hours. I did it with full SEC and state legal compliance. I don't know why this is so hard for everyone here. I'm only 9. You start getting that these kids are doing it, and you go, what the? I mean, capital's like this when you learn it. It's like, why didn't I learn it in high school? It's not hard, it's just new. So put thumbs up for capital, because I think this year especially you ought to do it because investors are going in record numbers. It's the best year I've seen since 2006 for money going into your business.
And I just found out today, Bernie, that I got the news that you actually opened up your capital class to people that are non-members. I'm so excited. I tell so many people, if you're looking at raising capital, it's the best place to get language and SEC.
If you get a CO Space membership, we give you a price to come that is normally $7,500. There's a savings right now, which she can tell you about, that's pretty significant. But if you buy the capital class just by itself, it's $1,900, and then we credit that against your joining CO Space letter. So it's almost like a tax write-off. It becomes a credit if you want to join CO Space to actually get the investors. But we teach you everything about raising money, and you master it. And if you look at our film, which she can show you, it's called Show Me the Money, you see regular people that were a music teacher teaching 9-year-olds, people that were guitar players, never had a business in their life. They come to CO Space and they're raising millions. And when you see it and see how many of just normal, everyday folks went into business, learned how to raise capital, and never thought they could, never even considered it, and they're all raising millions. And you go, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. And the answer is, of course you can. You should have been trained on this in high school. Capital is not something to feel uncomfortable about. I always tell you, the emotions you have about capital, the intellectual feelings you have, are software on this computer that was loaded by other people you don't know and can't remember, and it's buggy, god-awful software. It blue screens your life. Push eject, throw that CD against the wall, and get the true information about how capital works, and you won't have any discomfort at all. What was a Mount Everest becomes a speed bump, and you drive right over it. But God, I wish I had this years ago. So capital to me is businesses well capitalized always succeed, and business undercapitalized struggle. And so it's just the fastest way to grow a business is to get some capital for marketing and advertising, so you can really get your customers to know you exist. And it just takes a little capital to do it. It doesn't take much. So give it thought. I think it's really important for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that impacts all the comments. I know that a lot of people that I've been talking to, capital, they need more customers, they need more marketing budget, and we'll move on to another question that addresses that. But capital is, definitely. Thank you, Bernie, for offering that. There's so many people in my area that are raising capital, and I hear their pitch, and I'm like, you've got to go to his class because they're struggling and they're challenged and they're violating laws and they're not compliant and all of this stuff.
Well, you get 2 out of 10 investors. When you get through our class, you get 8 out of 10. I mean, you start getting the number you want. You're not squandering all the people. You only get 1 or 2 out of 10 because your language is wrong. Well, you practice. So your language is the offer they can't refuse, and it's legal. And people love that. I have very sophisticated business owners going, God almighty, if I had had this 3 years ago. And so, we're legend for doing that. And if we can help you, just keep that as an option. Always keep the window open for raising capital. Generally, it's just a skill you don't have that is a lot easier than learning to hoverboard.
Perfect. Okay, we've got a few other questions. Tony and AJ, I know I want to definitely have you. Can you guys do a real quick intro and connect? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Do you hear me better now?
Yep, it's still a little staticky for some reason.
I'm not sure. I'll do the best I can. I'll be quick. My name is Tony Castillo, making personal marketing. What I do is direct mail marketing, and I use that direct mail marketing to also integrate it to online marketing. I work with small business owners, mom and pops, and in a local area, so a very concentrated local area. I also came out with 2 products that I use to do co-op marketing. So with the businesses that a lot of them don't have the marketing dollars where they can share in the expense, and then we target to very specific demographics and local areas in the community. My goal is to have 10 zones between Indian River and Brevard County within by the end of the year. So,
can I ask you, what is your price point for the client? In other words, if the client can spend this range, you can start doing a good job. What's that range that you've got to have to do a good job?
To start as a basic exposure, it's the lowest point for the year. $5,000 would be a good number to start. For a strategy package, that includes online with his social media, their website done properly, video. That one starts at about $25,000.
Yeah, I was saying with 15 to 25,000, you can get their money back for them and start making a profit for them. With 5,000, they've still got to invest more to start getting traction to action.
Correct, and it depends the business. Some, a pizzeria doesn't have to spend that much. They can use a lot of co-op stuff, and so it depends on the business too. What type of exposure, or some of them will spend the money, but 1 or 2 hits, they got their investment back.
Well, I think that first of all, I think the notion of how you test marketed and developed your intellectual property has got to stop being geographically driven, because with onesource.com, you can get a woman Shannon's age with a hemorrhoid on the left side of her butt, and you can get any demographic you can think of to such a target level on geographic. So it doesn't matter if it's Oklahoma or wherever it is, you can get the demographic target. So your direct mail is hitting the nail on the head for any client on any business in any market today, just using onesource.com as your mail list synthesizer to have the best target group to go to. Now, at that price point, go to places that get you customers. 2 that come to mind is Peak Performance, which is Shannon can tell you about them, but they're probably the largest training seminar company in the country. And they have business training skills, inside training skills, leadership training skills. But you can network and get a lot of customers there. CO Space is a little different because we're not primarily a teaching organization. We're a trade show. So what you'd look at our place is probably 10 $25,000 customers and 15 to 20 that are raising the money or getting the resources that will be coming at you in the future. And I really wouldn't sell, if you do use CO Space, anything but a $15,000 to $25,000 package. And you could really help those businesses. But you'd start getting customers from all 50 states who would engage you, and you worked with them by Skype. And, I think direct mail is the biggest unused first step in marketing today, because no one's using it. As you know, when you go to the mailbox today, you don't get much in there, and most of it's just bills, and people aren't sending you the direct mail, and when they do, it's crap. And so if you send nice pieces out, they're well read. If they're information pieces and they're sent out like a little magazine on the business, they're especially well read. And so I had a guy in Colorado, and he was sending out in this custom envelope this piece that was this big. And it's very high quality paper, very high quality 4-color graphics. It's expensive mail. So you open it and you unfold it, and it's like, I can't explain it. This thing would unfold to 8 feet wide in all directions. And it was the whole business explained visually. And everybody loved it. And he was getting like an 80% response rate. It was like not anything like normal because it was so out of the box. And I mean, I think going in that genius creation to give us more fun experience today, and customers are looking for innovative companies that show us an innovative expression of their value proposition, and we phone them and click them. We go to the website then. And so I think you're on a wave right now of direct mail's making the biggest comeback in 25 years, and we specialize in small business ramp right into the curve. And I think target marketing with direct mail is almost better than any other form of marketing because you don't have waste market. You're going right to your target.
Right, and I've actually used, you have given me that advice months back with the OneSource, which is great. When I do one company, that's what I use as far as the local, because I'm trying to grow a good base with the two products. It's more of to find the real companies that are spending money and then trying to niche it down. But I agree with the direct mail, especially if when I can integrate it online, in other words, building an email campaign with it, and so forth, a return is even much greater, you know.
Yeah, CEO space is 5 times a year where you're at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we use the meals like a relationship mixer so that a small number, just 6 people that are presidents of companies, can really get to know each other. And everybody's agreed to help each other. And, of course, a large percentage of the hundreds and hundreds of CEOs there need marketing as their next step. They're looking for it. And they give you appointments and meet you privately. And you start having 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock meetings to deep dive, get down with that person, tell them what you can do, and then they meet you later by the pool and Starbucks and engage you. They actually sign up and give you checks while you're there. And so, you know, 1 client, and it's a pretty big return on money, 10, and it's a $250,000 week. And I just have a larger group of clients that can afford to pay for you than you'd normally see in a normal function that you go to. So it's highly lucrative. So, you know, take a look at it on video to see how it works. Shannon will walk you through it. But I really think if people in your business, you could use 5 CEO spaces, pay once, come to 5 a year, and you never do any other marketing yourself. That's just where you get your customers. And in between them, you fill it. You know, you're taking care of the customers. And you'd be busy. By the 2nd or 3rd one, you'd start using some of our people to scale. Like you talk to them about systems. So you outsource and don't have fixed overhead to deliver the scale of business coming at you where it goes beyond what you can handle in a week.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. I have like five requests of things that said in. Thank you, Bernie, and that was a great. Those of you that are watching and listening, that was kind of an overview of, you know, hopefully there's things you can plug into your business and see resources there. I do have a question in the chat room about what is the best place to incorporate. Is it Delaware, Nevada, Florida? What do you think? It's
Well, here's a problem. You call up the incorporating companies, and they want multiple corporations and multiple. I mean, they get a conflict of interest. A small business, if you incorporate in any of these states, the only advantage in foreign states is very complicated protection clauses if you're a public company in a hostile kind of environment. So keep that in mind. If you're a regular company, just operating, you're in total control. When you incorporate outside your state, you have to also then qualify that company inside your state. So you're going to have 2 tax filings, 2 annual fees, a lot of extra burden of compliance, and it's ridiculous. All of you should incorporate in the state you're in, a basic corporation in that state, and it's simpler, the burden of compliance is easier, it's a lot cheaper, and so I always recommend, if you're not at the point of you haven't made that choice yet, just incorporate in your state. I almost always tell you to do a C corporation. because that corporation is for resale, getting the best value. An LLC is for real estate, oil and gas, things that pass tax throughs down. That's why there is an LLC structure. It has to do with congressional law on how to pass through taxes. So if you're not trying to pass through taxes, LLCs are not really where you want to be. Then Subchapter S are for dentist office. They're a solo practitioner. They have a ceiling of the number of investors you can put in. They have a bunch of limitations, and they're okay, but they're built really, if you're Subchapter S on an LLC or Subchapter, that's an accountant's election for very small solo proprietor business. And if you're going to grow anything larger than that, you want to be a C Corp. It has better tax advantages. It has all sorts of benefits, but there are times you don't. Florida's one. Why? Because if you're an LLC in Florida and you operate as a Subchapter S LLC, there's zero tax, no income tax. If you're a C Corp, you pay income tax in Florida. And so Florida has a unique set of laws that let you be LLC. If you're a smaller business, sole proprietorship, zero inventory tax, zero state income tax. So I go for zero tax and be an LLC or a Subchapter S in the state of Florida. But in most states, I'd have you be a C corporation. So that's the, that's our structural advice on how to set companies up when we're thinking ahead of how to grow you enough that you get a resale price. Because we always want our entrepreneurs to stop working for cash flow, to pay your bills, and to have a plan where the business can grow fast enough over a period of years that you have a business you can resell and make a lot of money. You're going to work just as hard on either side of the scale. This is an income plan. This is a wealth plan. They both take 72 minutes to create. This one makes lots more income, has a much higher level of success than this one. So why struggle to make a living when you can be way too busy making a fortune?
Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and Keith Leon had put that CEO Space is the best investment I've ever made for my business. The Capital Class rocks. Thank you, Keith. Any other questions in the chat room as far as the structure? Let me know. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, I'm going to move on.
I want to say to Keith, I appreciate that especially because Keith came to his first class, paid to come, and he showed up in the first class, and I looked at him and said, "You got to go to bed." He had the worst case of flu I'd ever seen in my life. He had a fever about 102, and he missed a whole bunch of the first class. And the whole thing, as he worked the process, has helped grow his business all over the world, actually, with some of the sweetest people. And he's taken such great care of our author clients. I'm just so grateful to him for who he is and how he conducts his business. But he's 20 years being a publisher. And so when he says we've helped him grow a lot, that is saying a lot because he's a mature business and not just starting. And so I have really taken his trust with me very much as a sacred item because when he came back and didn't have the flu, we had to make up 2 classes in one for it, which we did. But he's also an amazing example. He's taken what we teach and applied it in his business to hyper-grow and build a major publishing company from a mid-range, well-known public. But now it's going to become a major publishing house, which was his dream. And we're building a hay house for him, which is what I want to do. We did that with Reed when we first showed up at Hay House. Now we're doing it with Keith Leon. I love doing it and seeing those big brands come up. So it's so exciting. But, I thank him because he's doing it. We can talk all day long, but he's doing it. He executes. So.
Perfect. Okay, so the next question is, somebody is talking about marketing on a small budget. Lerthina, and she sounds like she's got a small budget and looking at marketing, which as you know, Bernie, I've got a book called Media Magic, How to Get Limitless Publicity, and I work a lot with people with small budgets, creating that story, writing press releases, and getting it picked up. So if you want to go to my website, you can learn a little bit more, or Bernie, I'm sure you have some things on that.
You have a small budget. I mean, Lynn asked, what's the link to get the magazine for the chambers? It isn't a link. You hire a journalist from the local junior college that's in their junior year at journalist school. You pay them your minimum wage intern, and they set up, write, do the articles, tape record you, write the articles, lay out the magazine, get it ready for the printer. And then you just print it at the lowest cost. And it's real easy to do. It's just so low cost to do it. That works with a low budget. If you're a lower budget than that, I recommend you engage Shannon. Shannon is the best ad in the world is free articles and publicity about you. You can post them online. You can use them forever. You can show them to your client and print them. And she makes sure you get them. And so for any budget, she can start getting you right where you live, in papers, in magazines, in the business magazines in the community. These wonderful articles that get put out about your company. And I think the public relations, or PR, is the first lowest cost, where $1 works like 5. And with any budget, you can start stretching that money in the PR space. And she's helped, I mean, it's almost 20 years of helping our clients in this PR space. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of people that you pay them, like Shannon, and $5 works like 1. But with Shannon, every dollar works like 5. And she leverages it. She gets sick if she doesn't deliver for her clients. And she has a lot of free information with just her book. But I'd highly recommend clicking her site, looking at her book, and then having a lunch, having a meeting with her, and just have a one-on-one. You're out of the area, do a Skype call, and let her do that first PR to do the PR campaign of getting your message out. PR is read 10 to 1 over an ad. Ad we just flip through. When it's an article, we're reading it, we're studying what you're saying. That brand comes right up. And I know I'll read articles and click that website all the time. Where on the ad, I very seldom click the website. You know, unless I'm a skier and I want to buy that new ski thing, I'm not doing it on the ad. But in the article, I get to know you, I get a deeper read on what you're doing, and then I think, oh, I need that, and I start clicking the website. So I know you're all like that. So PR today is the first choice for how to get market on a small budget. Does that make sense? I know you believe in that, Shannon, but you won't, put your Gabriel horn out, and I want them to know how good you are. Because, I could name names of other people that charge 10 times what you charge, and they don't do half the job. You deliver for these guys, and they can start with 500 or 5,000 and get so much more value than they would with other firms. So first marketing, I'd go to Shannon.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So we have a couple more questions. AJ, I want to make sure you get to introduce yourself. So we have Clint Hill. He's saying, Clint, I think you wrote something in the survey too. He goes, I need to understand how to build effective and compliant agreements to obtain funding to grow my services business. I'd also like a similar agreement to raise money for my product. That's what he wrote in initially, and just now he wrote that what's the best way to raise some seed capital. Now I know Clint personally, and he is Bernie, I told him that he is so far advanced. He's got beyond prototype. He's a brilliant inventor. He's got connections, collaborations. He's actually received grants, and he's missing that that initial capital and agreements and some of that. So please speak to him on best ways.
If you want, Clint, if you want skills, you want to practice, and you want to get in front of investors and get the highest yeses, the best percentage, that I can't duplicate day after day after day of practicing where you learn how to do it and it's in you and you're really good. If you just want quick and dirty information, cheapest way to get the documents, get it done. Take this email down. I'm going to put it right now in the chat room. And you go to mjones@sprout.com. And you email him at mjones@sprout.com. All right? And that should have showed up and be in the email chat there. And just say, would you help me in getting the docs and starting a capital raise? Now remember, when you do crowdfunding, you have with those docs 18 months. When you go to Sprout, so May 12th is when that site is going live because that's when it's legal. May 13th, we teach the first class on the new laws in the world. And we demonstrate Sprout. But Sprout is automation for your compliance. You go on Sprout, you can pay a fee, and the documents will be done for you. You click through, and when you're done, you have what's called Form C. Form C is an SEC form for crowdfunding. It has to be filed with the SEC, and there's zero fee. Zero. But you have to file the form to be legal in all 50 states. Then you have a year to raise the money off that document. Now the document you put together online just by click, 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 click. And because I gave you the email, he'll let you into the site before it's active. You can do it now, so that by May 12th all your documents are done. For another fee, which is not expensive, I think the whole thing's $3,500. You can have the documents and an SEC lawyer review them and file your Form C, and an attorney umbrellas over you. There's no cheaper way to get documents with an attorney done on crowdfunding. Plus, almost all the attorneys out there don't even know what it is. These are vetted attorneys, educated by Sprout to be in compliance with the new law that's not even out yet. So these guys know the new law, they're SEC lawyers, and they're over compliant. And then all your investors go to Sprout. You never hand investors documents. Today, you send them to Sprout, because Sprout is documenting their clicks. Every time they click to look at something on your site, say they're looking at a video, say they're looking at a PowerPoint, you get an email saying, hey, Bob Jones just read your PowerPoint. And you can text them and say, hey, Bob, I saw you're looking at the PowerPoint. Any questions? And they're blown away that you know everything they're doing. So it's totally transparent. You know every click your investor's making. And then when you walk them through, they just sign up on the site, all document verified, etc. And then they issue the stock or the LLC certificates from the site. So when it's closed, they do it from the site. They have an insured escrow. They pay the money into the insured escrow, and then it transfers the money to your bank by bank wire every 36 hours. Clears. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing like it. No other site has anything like it. So it has every check the SEC wants. It's SEC reviewed. It's FINRA, which is the Broker-Dealer Association reviewed. It's a FINRA-approved portal. It's an SEC-approved portal. It's one of the first SEC FINRA portals to be approved, insured, and bonded in the world. And so it carries our highest recommendation because they over-comply with the law. They don't meet the standard, they exceed it. So you can sleep like a baby, nothing can ever go wrong because the investor self-qualified all the requirements in the site itself. And if you type with your nose, you can raise $1 million. By the way, they have videos, tutorials, animations. Go to the site now. Go click it. Look at it after we're done. I mean, it's worth $1 million to you.
Yes, Sprout is really amazing. It's sprowtt.com. And somebody is asking, we still have a couple more questions, so we'll do a quick close, and then if we have, I know, Bernie, you probably have another call. And just so you know, this is a little different than we normally run the mastermind because we have a master expert here. We're just, letting him really share and contribute. So with that, we also have the question as far as, is the capital class virtual in person? It is in person. He does bring in SEC attorneys. He does bring in other experts. And what's so great about the class is that they work on every aspect from compliance to delivery to finding the investors to, everything that you can think of. And it is live event. So the next question is, let's see here. Sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and go with this one online. And then we have one more after that I know that went to Facebook. Amy. Okay, hi Amy. If you want to certify your program in order to teach others how to do it, what's the first step as far as creating a certification or a training program?
Amy's asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, she's asking how to get accreditation for her product.
Yeah, well, she actually has a retreat center, and she teaches wellness, like a wellness protocol. Amy, you let me know if this is incorrect, but I believe what she wants to do is set up a training program so that she can teach other people how to do that. I know you've helped a lot of people in CEO space actually set up certification programs for their business. That's what she's looking to do, is set up a certification program for her business so she can certify other people underneath of her, and either do licensing agreements.
Well, we recommend that because that's a way to leverage her business, and it's a smart way to go. What we do, I mean, CO Space is one way to do it. She can do it on her own. We put a team of experts, 2 or 3 experts, and they help her develop all the curriculum and the certification protocols, and they actually help her so she's not alone doing it. And it's very fast, 4 to 6 weeks. She's got it developed. If she wants to get third-party certification from states for ongoing credits, for professional credits, for university credits, whatever, you know that you can use Michael to do that, and you could introduce her if she wants to do that. So in Erie, and that's his business, is to certify those curriculums. So that's up to him if you want to use Michael Chevalier. And
Okay.
you can introduce him to her if she wants to after she gets the curriculum, then have it certified in her state with actual credits for ongoing professional credits in healthcare or whatever, or you could get credits for university level credits, whichever way you want, and he does that for a fee. So later she may want to add that in and actually have an accredited program, which opens up funding, different kinds of funding for student loans and so forth. So that may be a value to her down the road. So those are the options, right?
Awesome. That sounds great. And I'm always big on, just to add to that, is find 3 people that are kind of doing a similar thing to you, and just start studying and looking at their business models of what they're doing, so that you can become educated and learning a little bit more. And obviously working with experts and working with mentors in 4 weeks, that's record time to get that done. But being aware of
in our place here, you have people that have done it, they know the fee structure, the price structure, and they mentor you, they help you. And so, without us, I'd go to people in the field that have a great program and say, will you mentor me? And fly to them and have lunch with them. And what you learn there will be the construction of the whole ball game. You'll learn all the do's and don'ts. And so it's either do that or do it at CO Space, either way, whichever is more comfortable for you. And
yeah, and I'm not.
Speed it up, get going. You're on the right. You got the right idea. It's a perfect idea. And make it happen. Get it going. Great idea. I think it's great.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm not necessarily saying take a bunch of time and meet with them, because that could take you months to get in the door. But just becoming familiar with, because that's a whole different ball game. So we have Elizabeth here. She is a health mentor, certified in nutritional therapy and personal training. She helps people around the world improve their health, and promotes the #1 weight loss challenge in the world. Her challenge is finding qualified clients as well as people to help them promote the weight loss challenge. And actually, Bernie, you kind of talked a lot about this, about using CEO Space to come and build clients, finding hubs of communities that you can work with to build communities. You want to add anything else on that as far as finding clients?
If you're a solo entrepreneur, CEO Space is often for that kind of mission 5 times a year. The most practical trade show. In other words, it loads in enough customers that you're making the income you want, you're busy. Usually within 2 of them, you're past what you can do yourself, and you have to enlarge your business to take on a different model. And when we go to the creating wealth for you, where you can sell the business for a lot of money, we almost always need to put some capital in for staffing, marketing out of your area, to feed you with customers at a bigger level than even CO Space provides. And so we provide the backbone, and then we give the lift off with capital to take it to another level. So you can do it in stages and phases on your schedule, not ours. And our meetings are published through 2018. So if you can't make the May one, make the July one. If you can't make that one, make May of 2018. Make it whenever you can. And we're always there. We've been there for 30 years plus, and we're ranked #1 by Forbes to help you. but we're never, you actually ask us to join. You know, we don't sell you. I mean, you study us, get to know us. The only reason people join is they want to get to a certain goal of income. We're going to shrink the time, shrink the money cost to get there. So once you understand that you get a free credit line that doesn't affect your credit, so you don't have any payments and you have no interest. So now it costs you nothing to go, and then it pays for itself. Now, we have a money-back guarantee if it doesn't pay for itself. So then I don't know. If we don't speed up your business, we refund your money, and there's no risk. So at some point, you think about it as a place to develop what you want in anyway. You know, I mean, we're just going to shrink time and help you get there. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Okay, we had one more question, and AJ, so we're just at the top of the hour, and I know, Bernie, I think you had another call immediately after this. I just wanted to reiterate real quick, and again, I can stay on for probably another 5 minutes afterwards, but I wanted to reiterate that if you wanted some one-on-one time with Bernie, you can call me at 321-549-2128, 321-549-2128, or email me at info@shannongronich.com, info@shannongronich.com. Would be happy to collaborate or share any resources, because he's opened up some of his schedule for people that were here. We did have one more question from Sibi, and she's asking, is Sprout open to non-U.S. citizens? I believe that's correct, right? It is open, Bernie, to non-U.S. citizens, Sprout? I think he just muted because he's...
I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, Sprout is open to non-U.S. citizens, and you're still muted, just to let you know. It still went to mute, if you want to respond there. The next form, and AJ, I'm going to have you do, just so that people get a tail end. It's still muted, Bernie. The next forum for CEO Space is the May 15th through
I'm muting you because there's an absolute hailstorm going on, which you may hear in the background. So it's not machine gun fire, but it's fading now. But it was at peak just a minute ago, and I thought that would cause you to be a little bit backgrounded. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to be a broken record about CEO Space.
She was asking about Sprout. Is it open to non-U.S. citizens?
Yeah, Sprout is a vehicle that is open for compliance, and there are some rules for non-U.S. citizen investing in companies and the percentages they can own in the U.S. And Sprout automates all that, so they never are out of compliance. So you just send your Canadian investors and your South American investors, your EU and Asian investors to Sprout. But it is not a program for doing crowdfunding in China. It's a program for the 50-state blue sky laws of the United States. Crowdfunding is a United States congressional act of law. It is coming effective May 12th, in which for the first time, with limited documents and not registering and not having filing fees, anyone can go out and advertise, promote, talk anywhere to anybody, and get lots of small investors, unlimited small investors. You used to have 35 small investors you could ever put in your company. Now you can get as many as you want, and you can get them anywhere. They can put up 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and you can get all these first in to buy in, and it's so easy, and you have lots of time to do it. And once you get 20 people who have invested, they tell 3. That's 60. And you're sold out. Your million's done. So it's just getting the first 20, and then that starts momentum. They tell 3, and you're done. Everybody, you just sell out so quick. And so we've been doing it 30 years, so it's nothing new to us, but we didn't have crowdfunding relaxed rules. Now it'll be even easier, faster. You know, it'll just be, it's almost, I mean, it is the biggest change for small business to get money in their company, and all of you should take advantage of it. Generally, you should sell about 10% of your company for $1 million, and don't let anybody else tell you anything else. And don't raise 200 or 300, because when you're raising the money, you'll go past that. All these investors will be wanting to get in, and you'll have to say no because you wrote your documents with a limitation. Write your documents for $1 million. If a year later you only raise 300,000, close it, and you raise 300,000. But most of you will raise the full $1 million, and you'll be so glad you have that extra money for marketing. Because believe me, that marketing is where you want to spend the money to get your customers coming in. Does that make sense?
Yes, and Bernie, I just want to thank you personally, because you came to an event of mine last year, and I remember not only were you working from morning to night mentoring and coaching people, but you were on the phone with the SEC attorney. You were there representing entrepreneurs to get this passed. And I know a lot of people don't know that. You're not bragging about it or saying it at all, but I am just so grateful for you being out there pushing forward. I don't want to use the word fighting, but really you're fighting for entrepreneurs to have the freedom that the free enterprise and what you teach and what you allow people to leverage and learn these skills. And the other thing is, just not only doing that diligently and being on top of it, but also your heart and soul that you continue to give people, no matter where they're at. You just show up, and I've seen you hardly eating and tired, and you just give really those of you that don't know him. Bernie is one of the most generous, giving, open-hearted, open Rolodex individuals I've ever met, and I'm just so honored that you joined us today. Thank you so much for your time.
As you know, we run the largest lobby group for small business. We're kind of quiet about that.
Yes.
We work very hard to represent you on Capitol Hill, and believe me, nobody's representing you. We're it, and we really watch over you up there. And then that gives me hives on the political thing. So I'm suggesting that we have one ticket, and it's the Hillary Trump ticket. We just have Hillary and Trump. That'd be great. Now we have no enemies. But we're probably not going to have that. I ask you all vote, though. This is a real important election for small business, and I don't care who wins. We're going to win anyway. We've got great candidates running. Go out and vote. Stop the hype of all the spin and theatrics about it. Everybody's a great American running. We've got some of the best brains running we've ever had. They're all going to do great. But vote. Turn out in record numbers. Get the small business around you to turn out. And just advocate vote. Get out and vote. Let's show the world how America is switched on and turned on, especially in the business sector. And vote. This is an important election. And it'll all work out, and America will be better for it. So let's get the process working, and you work the process, and we'll come out the other side, and it'll all be great when we get there. So, it's going to be, I think, better for business no matter who wins, and I think they are all talking about, favoring small business, and I think they will, and I think it's just going to get better and better for small business the next 5 years. Okay? So thank you all. I'm glad to be with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. AJ, I just wanted you to people to hear who you were real quick before we hang up. And Joyce, if you wanted to stay on. And I just wanted to say this is not supposed to be a political pitch at all. So that was quite a surprise, and a little different turn than I wanted, but definitely interesting. So AJ, real quick, your elevator pitch before we close off, because I want people to hear who you are and Joyce.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you great.
Okay, great. Took me a while to figure out the mute button. So I am AJ Ali. I'm the CEO of a company called Eclipse Sports and Entertainment. We've been around since 1999, and we make media that matters. We have a film that we're developing now called Walking While Black, with a subtitle of Love is the Answer. It's offering a solution to racial profiling. It's building bridges between police and the rest of the community. We just shot for 8 days in the Baltimore, Washington area, and we've got some amazing content that we're putting together. I also host and produce a program called Wellness 101, which is a TV series, a game show, helping people to live their best life possible. And we're going to be filming on the beach in Santa Monica, California, starting June 22nd. And you can find out information about that at wellness101life.com. And it's Wellness 101 Life at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well. And the film is walkingwhileblackthemovie.com.
Awesome. Is there anything that you need support with?
You know, I learned a lot from Bernie, as always, and all the things that you said. I just want to echo, because I really, in the years that I've seen him in action, I don't think I've ever seen him have a conversation where he didn't offer great advice and contacts. So he's really a man of action, and he really sticks up for us. So I learned a lot. All the questions I had were actually answered, and I'm glad to find out about Sprout as well. I'm going to go and check that out. And yeah, this has been really great. Shannon, thank you so much for all that you do and all the effort that you put into helping folks like us to get to the next level. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And AJ, Keith Leon says, "What's up, AJ? AJ rocks," in the chat room.
Hey, tell him I said hello. We got to make some music together, buddy.
Okay, Joyce, and you're our final closing, unless anybody else wants to add into the chat room that's watching us. And our Mastermind Monday, the next one is in 2 weeks. Go ahead, and you do need to register unless you've done the automatic. It'll be more mastermind style, where people like Joyce and Tony and AJ and we all share and collaborate. Today we had a special event with a guest that was the master of mentors. So Joyce, let's go ahead and hear from you real quick.
Hi, everybody. Our mission is really to create global change and joy and prosperity. And I think I've sort of met all of you, either virtually or in person, but I'm Joyce White Nelson, and I have a team of really people first professionals that help people get to their intended outcome. If your feeling is that people are your greatest asset, then we're here to help you with systems and processes and procedures to get there.
Anything you need support?
The business is Joyce Ventures. Yeah, I need a lot of what Bernie's talking about, because I'm an executive producer this year for something called launchwisconsin.com. The Kauffman Foundation gave Wisconsin dead last standing for business growth and development. And so Launch Wisconsin last year was really promoted by a private company and now has turned into a nonprofit. And we are growing, bringing all the silos and verticals and sideways and all the other things that are together to innovate, and bringing them together in an event and then growing that into education. And so I need a lot of what he said for that. I have another huge nonprofit I'm representing, and myself. So I'm looking to come down in June, and so now I have to look at May also, Shannon and Bernie. Yeah, so I took a lot of notes also.
Awesome. So I'm just going to do a real quick plug for these two. AJ Ali, if you're in anything to do with health and nutrition, you want to be involved with what AJ's doing. He is actually a professional producer. He's been on TV. He's had series on TV. He's just absolutely amazing. He is also great, both him and Joyce. Now, Joyce does this as a business and very skilled at it, but they are able to create partnerships unlike anybody I've ever seen. I mean, the way that they put people together, if you want to grow your business, remember I said the 4 things at the beginning, and the second one is collaboration and partnerships. If you feel all alone and you want to learn how to collaborate, if you're in health and nutrition, talk to AJ. If you want to learn how to expand your business and what you're doing, I mean, Joyce, both of them are absolute masters at doing that. So with that, thank you for the little bit of going over. I know we're 10 minutes over. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time today. And we'll be posting a replay, so if you want to share it with other people, I'm so grateful to have each one of you in my life. Some of you are my clients, my friends, and hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.